be difficult for Fiora to snowball unless Zizzle and XJ play the lane really well.
If we take a look at the other matchup, the other really important matchup of this game, it's gonna be definitely the bottom lane where Zodiac wants to start snowballing this Tristana. And of course, with the Janna pickup, I believe Tristana will have a relatively easy laning phase, even though Alistar and Corki have a ridiculous combo, seriously. If the combo lands on the Tristana, especially with the new patch, it's so easy to just buffer that combo. The problem is, Kappa decided to go with an exhaust himself, so they will be lacking the ignite, I think, that is necessary to try and get rid of the Tristana during a single combo. And then again, as I mentioned in the beginning, Alistar just goes for the Windspeaker's blessing, so he denies himself the bigger burst using Thunderlord's Decree, and honestly, this way they are just looking to passively farm this game, at least during the laning phase on the bot lane, which is honestly, I think, a huge advantage for the Tristana when she wants to go for the late game for sure.
Yeah, it will allow K-pop to get that farm a little easier, although I do think the exhaust might help against the Shyvana, who will be looking to be a bit of a threat to the backline. That exhaust could come in handy, but we are on the rift for this 4th round game of Division 1 between Zodiac Gaming on the blue side and Ferocity Red on the red side. Both teams 2-1 right now and looking for that 3rd win, which would take them really close to a spot at LAN, and we'll see how both teams get on as they line up for level 1.
And both of these teams are spread out completely, which really means that there's gonna be no level 1 aggression whatsoever. Although the Fiora is already getting pinged, she tried to put a deeper ward than I think she was supposed to, but actually with the quick reaction of Tahm Kench and Shyvana, she was denied this completely, so she just has to opt in for the top lane immediately, and there are no other wards placed, so neither of these teams will know which side the enemy jungler starts, although if Lux were actually to follow the Elise around, she might just peek into her mind a little bit.
Yeah, XJ not hiding himself at all early on, but he will slink off back into his jungle now, and like you said, that might give an idea to Zodiac if they caught the Elise going away of where XJ will be starting, but we'll see how that affects them. I imagine that just looking at the Elise Shyvana matchup, the onus will be on XJ to make the early plays, as I imagine Dosh will be a little bit more focused on farming early on in this one.
Oh, definitely. And the question here is going to be, how much is he going to be able to farm while the Elise is busy ganking? Because if Dosh can get further ahead, if he is able to ding level 6 way faster than the Elise does, then all Zodiac has to do is just force an early team fight like at the Dragon, and they should have the burst with the Shyvana and the Lux combo to deal with blowing up someone and then just force the enemy entirely out of fighting.
Yeah, we see already early on, if trade's coming down in the mid lane, definitely in Stark's favor. He got a bit of that early push going, hits the early level 2, and managing to chunk Pre really low early on, and he's going to have to be careful on the Lux in the mid lane, because that LeBlanc will definitely be looking to damage him at any chance she gets.
Especially with LeBlanc having the Ignite available, because Lux chose not to go for the barrier or the cleanse. If she is late to use the heal, that's going to be only half as efficient.
Yeah, we'll see how Pre chooses to play that. Definitely will be looking to be a lot more defensive now that he's used both his health pots. So I can imagine that Stark will have no issue pushing the wave.
And here comes the Elise.
Oh, the Elise could be looking for something topside. XJ waiting in the bush, and he's going to make the move now, and Box could be in a lot of trouble. Already half health, does have the grey health, but I don't think that's going to do a lot for you. XJ happy to provide the damage. Fiora going to get gobbled up, but it doesn't matter. First blood going over to XJ.
And this is exactly what you want to do with the Fiora. It's already a bit unlucky that Elise could not surrender the kill onto the Fiora, because the first blood gold would have just propelled her so much ahead, but still an assist nonetheless, and Tahm Kench is forced to use his teleport, and this is risky actually.
XJ's already there. Does Vox really want to do that? Dosh, maybe he does because Dosh is coming in support. However, a lot of damage already on the Kench. Who are they going to go for? They focus the Elise and XJ losing half his health bar. Going to turn the damage around, but in comes the exhaust. Blurs the flash, but a tongue lash coming in. They're going to gobble up Elise and Vox will get a kill. Looking for Zizzle now. The parry will take out Dosh, and now a battle between the top laners. Vox is in trouble. Double kill for the Fiora. There's that snowball you wanted. 2 kills for Zizzle.
Exactly. This was really, really risky because the exhaust is honestly the exhaust didn't do anything. It was only a tool to catch up in terms of the slow, but it blocked no damage whatsoever. And they honestly, on the side of Ferocity, they are really, really lucky that Zodiac wanted to focus the Elise down without the repel even used. Fiora was just able to dash around, and the moment you know that Grey Health is not available and both of the remainder champions have their red buffs, that was crazy.
Yeah, we see the auto trades in the mid lane, but like you said, that exhaust didn't do a lot. It got the flash out of the Elise, but then Zodiac kept going, and they fought most of that fight in the enemy minion wave, which at this point in the game, their damage can't be underestimated at all, and as a result, we could see the damage that Vox was taking from those minions allowed Zizzle to just get a little bit extra out of that trade, and getting the 2 kills will be absolutely huge for that Fiora. Already coming back to lane with that Tiamat, Vox could find himself in a lot of trouble as the lane goes on. Oh, start getting very low in the mid lane, the Ignite coming in. Meanwhile, the jugglers are going to meet up nearby, but no one is going to fall by the looks of things, and Pre very lucky to make it out of that one, forced to blow a steal. Top laner is actually duking it out as well. Vox dropping very low, but has the grey health and trades all around the map. Pre nearly dying in mid lane.
That was another really risky exchange from the Tahm Kench, because if Fiora was fast enough to react with the parry, she could have just stunned Vox again. And honestly, at this point of the game, the grey health is just decaying so rapidly. If Zizzle were to play this a bit more carefully, I think he could have waited long enough for one last dash to just finish Vox off right under his turret. Let's not forget that Zizzle is the one who still has the flash available, so the moment she reaches level 6, Tahm Kench has to pull out, and Elise is already on her way again.
Yeah, XJ definitely looking to get that Fiora even further ahead, hanging around the top lane, but I think Vox might have just learned his lesson a little bit, playing a bit far back. Dosh close to that side of the map as well, so he can maybe help out if his top laner is in any more trouble, but I think right now, Ferocity are getting almost exactly what they want from this. They already have the Fiora ahead. The LeBlanc is also in a great position in the mid lane, just needs to actually secure that kill. And bot lane is going pretty even, but Cork is going to get pretty huge at a point where Tristana's going to be pretty weak as she goes into that big power trough. So Ferocity could be setting themselves up for some huge advantages in the mid game.
Especially if Asered is going to have the package available for these early fights. That's a huge burst you really have no way of denying. Even if you pack your entire shields available on the same target, you really need the Tahm Kench to be on point. And Vox is just so much behind, he's going to have a hard time staying in those team fights. He's 20 CS ahead, which of course is not something to be surprised about when the enemy already has Tiamat. The problem here is that if the Tiamat gets turned into a really early Titanic Hydra, Fiora is just going to have a really easy time blowing up the Tahm Kench grey health or not.
Yeah, and we see managing to keep the wave fairly towards his own tower, but not losing any CS. XJ right now on the opposite side of the map, but if Zizzle can keep doing that, could set up more gank opportunities. Bot also pushing as well for Zodiac, and Kappa maybe looking for a bit of a trade here, but not really able to get anything. Enough kind of defensive CC or defensive tools on the side of Zodiac's bot lane that they should be fine unless XJ is there to help out. So we'll see how that develops as it goes on. I think definitely Asered will be waiting for that big Corky power spike, you know, the classic, the Trinity Force, the Sword Shoes to start having a huge impact on this one. Right now, just taking any positive trades he can get.
Elise actually passed a ward before entering the enemy jungle, and she even got pinged, but there's no reaction.
Oh, K-pop very low in this trade actually, and Ferocity managing to chunk the Tristana there a bit. And we were talking about getting any nice trades. That was really worked out well for them, and managing to push the wave in. XJ down that side of the map, and definitely causing problems for the Zodiac bot lane.
Oh, that's a timely arrival.
Well, that is a timely arrival here. Actually, that's going to be the Monsoon backwards with the teleport coming down for the side of Ferocity, and they might get the Oracle here, who's very far forward already. The exhaust onto Zizzle, the Buster Shot, but I'm not sure if it's enough. The Grand Challenge going down, and that is a very good Howling Gale to slow him. Zizzle forced it back out, and XJ just not there in time. And Oracle, don't know how he managed to make it through that, but gets out alive.
I don't get it either. Mistakes from both sides of these teams, honestly, and the Tristana is still not out of this. Fiora is still a bit cocky, so to speak, but they could go for the dragon and he's not joining the team. Zizzle might be able to pick up a Janna if she's arrogant as well.
Yeah, just playing that very far forward, but Dosh is down at the Dragon. However, he's a bit outnumbered in this one. They're going to turn onto him, but XJ already a bit low. The Oracle is there in support. He might look to help out as the Dragon's Descent comes in. XJ already back, and the exhaust onto Dosh means he's in a lot of trouble. They're going to look for him, but there comes Stark, and he's going to pick up the kill from the side. And with the jungler down, they can get the Dragon for free if they want, but they want the champions instead, as Pop is going to fall as well. The Oracle is the next target. Couldn't get him last time, but should be able to pick him up with this. Zizzle with his third kill of the game, and Ferocity picking up kills left, right, and center.
Oh my god, this was the point where Ferocity basically has the chance to snowball the entire game from here on out. So the problem from Zodiac's side, the moment they realized that Alistar backed away and Azeroth could not, that's the point where about 2 minutes back in, this entire team fight started. So we have already spoken, or we have already talked about how Zodiac is really playing a protect your AD carry comp and just wants to get this Tristana rolling into the late game. Never mind, this should be their strategy. Janna flashes forward to try and Monsoon the Corki backwards. And the moment that fails, even though the Janna survived the incoming teleport, you are in no shape whatsoever to try and contest this dragon, even though the dragon took Elise pretty low. The members of Zodiac were just scattered around completely. Two of them were coming from the bottom, whereas Lux was completely zoned out by the LeBlanc. They should not have even considered going near that Drake, and it just cost them so much. They are already 2.5k gold behind without Azeroth having the package in this team fight.
Yeah, and kills coming in across the board right now. Zizzle happy to have those 3 kills in the top lane, and 1 each for Azeroth and Stark in the middle of that one, so they can kind of get themselves a bit up on items. They're going to look for K-pop, and here comes the package as well. That's going to be the Tristana in a good bit of trouble. Going to look to try jump away from this one. The Monsoon coming in as well, and with those cooldowns coming back up, it does offer Zodiac a bit of safety, but the package there could have been a lot more trouble there for Zodiac in that situation.
But really, this is what you're looking for. You don't want to be aggressive. You just want to make sure that Tristana survives everything that Ferocity dishes out towards her. The Oracle finally being in a position where he can just do whatever he wants. Oh, that's problematic.
Well, Zizzle very low and spat back out under turret, and Vox might want this, but the Grand Challenge coming in and a good bit of lifesteal as well. The rest of Ferocity making moves towards the top lane, so Vox has to be careful. Flashes forward, Elise and LeBlanc on their way. Can they get there in time as Vox is looking to back off? Zizzle trying to bait himself out there, make himself look as juicy as possible. They're going to go in with the repel. Look for the Tahm Kench here. They're going to lock up Vox and going to take him down. Grey health not even popped. XJ's second kill of the game.
And this is something, once again, the trade is won by Zizzle against Vox without using any summoner spells. Fiora was not even forced to flash, and a really good rotation coming in from the Elise and the LeBlanc just make sure that Tahm Kench has nowhere to run. He even stopped midway his tracks when he realized that, honestly, the LeBlanc does not even need to connect ethereal chains to just make sure that's going to be a kill. And from the two junglers, we have seen Shyvana trying to do something in the early game, but it's just not working.
K-pop dropped very low at that bundle over its proc, and we keep seeing that whenever Kappa can jump on the Tristana and get that combo off, there's a lot of damage coming in from Azeroth to follow it up, and even then, that's only the 2 Trinity Force components. That'll be only multiplied in the next few minutes when he goes and finishes those few items. And it's definitely, like you said, going to be about weathering the mid-game. Very defensive play required from Zodiac's bot lane. And we'll see how they do, because I imagine that Ferocity will respond and try look to get as many kills as they can. However, they're looking for the mid lane right now. The flash already from Free, but Kappa looking to do what he can. The Unbreakable will pop, but Stark not really in a position to follow up. XJ is going dragon hunting though. He's going to see if he can find Dashi in the jungle. Going to lock him up with the dragon's descent force. And Zodiac are there, so they might be able to turn this around. XJ's a bit far forward. Forced to repel in this one, but should come back down on a member of Zodiac. Will be taken down, and a free kill there for Dosh almost.
And this comes really handy for Dosh because he was so much behind the Elise. The problem is, once again, on the top lane, without the proper CC as a Shyvana, you can't really gank. The same goes for mid lane, unless the Lux is able to land a binding onto the LeBlanc. There's just no way the Shyvana is going to be able to gank, and as long as Alistar is next to Corki, it's the same on bot lane.
Yeah, and we see Vox spinning Zizzle back under tower, and he will take a lot of damage. But
and LeBlanc is coming.
LeBlanc could be looking for something back in the top lane. Very deep position. Meanwhile, the bottom lane taking some nasty trades for Zodiac. But Stark could be looking for Vox under the tower. Zizzle able to get a bit of health back with those pots, and out comes Stark. He's going to look for this. The grand challenge going down. Vox is going to pop the grey health, but it's not going to be enough once again. Zizzle happy to jump back in and gets his 4th kill of the game.
So what I was saying, without any chances for you to gank as a Shyvana, especially if you are building the Devourer as a jungler, you're just looking to farm up as much as possible, and with all the time that Shyvana has wasted, it's just not coming along fast enough. She only has 7 stacks in almost 15 minutes into this game, and that's the primary reason Shyvana tried to contest that first Drake in the first place, and it's really not something you should try to do. You have a fast enough clear time to ignore the dragon completely and just finish a sated Devourer by the 17th, 18th minute mark. And honestly, with the lack of vision, oh, this is big.
Well, that's a big 2-man knock up there coming in, and that forces the heal actually out from K-pop. Gonna try to turn the explosive charge back down on them, but definitely coming out worse for wear on those trades. And they have to be careful because Kappa's actually been hitting those combos really nicely in this bottom lane.
Really nicely. So what I was saying, with the lack of vision, Elise was just able to invade so many times, and Vox needs to rotate bot lane to deny an actual dive.
Deny a dive, and they actually seem to be seeing what they can get down on Kappa on the way up. But the Alistar should be fine, does have Unbreakable Will up, so he won't be in a lot of trouble. Pops it just there, and actually happy to turn back around with that damage reduction coming in because he has his jungler close by, and that's going to be XJ coming out here, but just not close enough with Dosh nearby as well. Zodiac once again with the man advantage, but not really able to follow up. The Tongue Lash not coming through, and they don't have too much CC. In comes the Dragon Simple flash down, and Ferocity going to turn this around, but XJ already so low. Stark joining the fight though. The monster a little bit too early, and he still manages to get in there. No one dying just yet, but K-pop with the ignite on at the back will fall to Stark. 1 kill for Ferocity. Can they get anything else? Doesn't look like it with Kappa completely isolated. 1 for 1 so far. Dosh picking up his 2nd of the game, and Asteroid could be the next to fall as Vox goes for him under the tower. Does the Kedge have the damage? He guts to bite him up, but he benches the Corki. 2 kills coming in for Zodiac. Stark a bit too far away to be the 3rd, but with the dragon up, that's great position for them.
And the real problem is, at what cost? In the meantime, top lane, Fiora does not have the teleport available. She is not even forced to use it. The moment you see every single member from the side of Zodiac on the bot lane, Fiora just managed to capitalize on this so much. She was already the member from Ferocity who was the furthest ahead, and now, honestly, what Ferocity should do is just switch the bottom lane with the top lane, allow Fiora to rotate into the bot lane and just get more turrets with all the auto attack resets, because Fiora right now with a Ravenous Hydra, honestly, I think she would be able to kill the Tristana even with a Janna nearby.
Yeah, and if Zizzle can pull off a nice engage, like you said, switching into the bottom lane could cause so many problems for Zodiac, because it'll be so difficult to play around this absolute monster in the top lane, who right now 4-0 and 3, looking really huge right now. And even so, the LeBlanc is also getting big, 2-0 and 2. The Corki is at a really strong point in the game, so there's nothing Zodiac can do at all unless they find a really nice fight where they catch Ferocity, maybe just overextending a little bit, or can catch even a nice pick, maybe with the Lux light binding or something like that. That's the only thing Zodiac can really do at this point, because they're so far behind and at a really weak point in the game comparative to the comp Ferocity have right now.
And this might be another dive if Elise joins on the bot lane. Let's not forget Zizzle now has his teleport available, and he already picked up Distortion Boots, which is just gonna mean that he has the teleport available so more frequently. Kappa is looking to engage here, and Oracle is in a bad position.
Yeah, they're going very deep for this dive. The Hellengale coming back, but Dosh happy to go up front and fight this out. Knocked back by the Alistair there. However, Zodiac doing good to actually defend that bot lane. Stark not getting off his combo, missing that chain from point blank range. Otherwise, Pre could have been a lot more trouble. But huge focus around this bot lane. But just like earlier, Zizzle happy to sit in that top lane for as long as possible. This time he does have his teleport. Stark looking for Pre once again. Combo not doing too much, but that top lane split push, classic from Ferocity almost. They love split pushing. Used to be Stark. Now it's Zizzle doing it.
That's huge.
And
honestly, that's huge because Asered managed to cancel the recall from the Tahm Kench, and once again, Zizzle was left completely alone in the top lane. And Tahm Kench, to begin with, came to the bot lane using the teleport, getting nothing out of it, because this is once again what we talked about in the beginning of the game. The moment Dosh tries to go in and just gets headbutted away, that's all the engage you had available, and you have nothing else.
Yeah, we see Dosh forced to fight Zizzle for his own jungle camps, and Zizzle just ruling the top side of the map right now with an iron fist. And with Vox kind of having to help out his bottom lane so much, it just allows the Fiora so much space. And we see the CS advantage that Zizzle has accrued right now. And Ferocity, meanwhile, on the opposite side of the map, also making all the right moves. They're going to look for this dragon. Dosh not going to miss out on even more Devourer stacks. Meanwhile, Zizzle could be looking for the 1v1. Vox should be fine, close to his own turret, has the grey health. But even so, Zizzle just dominating this lane.
And I'm not sure if you've seen it, but Fiora actually managed to parry the Devourer of Tahm Kench. It actually went on cooldown. Never mind, you did not see any effect. That's a huge cooldown wasted.
Yeah, and we're just seeing Zizzle being huge in this Fiora, but they've caught out the Oracle in the bot lane, the heal force, but Kappa's on the other side of this one, gonna look for the knockup, managed to hit the Oracle, they go for K-pop instead, the Monsoon a little bit too late to save the 80 carry, XJ could get turned on though, but Dosh just not close enough, and Stark coming in from the back, nearly has enough damage to insta-kill the Oracle. Dosh forced to get back to his own tower, in dragon form is a bit tankier, but still can't do anything about this push from Ferocity. With the members forced off from Zodiac, they should be fine to take this tower. Meanwhile, the top lane actually Zizzle with the grand challenge, looking for Vox once again. Vox close to his tower, has the grey health, but even so, there is so little he can do against the Fiora, and Ferocity, half they're pushing the bottom lane, they're just completely in control right now.
And Vox, with him having to back away, that's the first inhibitor turret actually falling. Fiora was not forced to rotate into the bot lane. He can just duel that Tahm Kench all the time he wants, because even if a Shyvana arrives, I honestly don't think, even with an exhaust, you're able to catch out that Fiora, and Dosh might be in trouble here.
Oh, nice. Already gonna still look for XJ if he can catch him. That's gonna be the final spark coming in. XJ forced to repel, but K-pop will pick up his first kill of the game. Ferocity on the retreat right now. They're gonna see if they can get Asered. Gonna be gobbled up with Dosh taken out by Stark on the backside. 2 for 1 right now in favor of Zodiac, but they've lost both their tower. They lost, sorry, I missaw that. They lost one tower in the bottom lane, second one very low. Zodiac just managing to stop the push in time.
I think this was a bit of miscommunication here with the chain missing. Oracle is going to survive this, but I think this was a bit of miscommunication on the side of Ferocity, because Zizzle backed away and he, with the distortion boots, was looking for a place to teleport onto. The problem was, without your Corki having any mana whatsoever and XJ getting caught out, Fiora just couldn't join the party, and that's why Ferocity lost this war.
Stark going back in, and K-pop so low at the back of this, the Ignite will be shielded by the looks, but the Oracle's just going to get turned on instead, and Stark on a rampage right now. Zizzle going to get the Tristana at the end of it too. 2 kills coming in for Ferocity. They managed to keep the mid lane tower up as well, and they can now counter push after those 2 kills.
They honestly don't even need to counter push, because there's enough wave clear with the Shyvana and the Lux, so they could just go for a straight up Baron Nashor here. But then the Corki should start rotating soon enough.
Yeah, Asered still down in that bottom lane, that mid tower on a few hits, so we'll see how Ferocity choose to play it right now. Still waiting on K-pop and the Oracle to spawn, so the 3 members of Zodiac looking to hang around the mid lane and see what kind of defense towards this tower they can stage. Ferocity playing aggressive around the jungle once again, so could be looking for an engage, but Zodiac know that Kappa is there. Looks as if Ferocity happy to just try get the wave in as far as possible. Will knock down the tower, gonna look for the fight after this. Dosh is gonna get locked up by the cocoon, gonna get gobbled up by the Tahm Kench and escorted to safety, and we're seeing maybe just a little bit of the power of the disengage picks coming in, but Ferocity happy with the tower.
But I honestly don't know how far Zodiac would have to prolong this game for this disengage to be relevant, because if you take a look at the items of Tristana, she's just miles behind the Corki right now, and Fiora, an interesting thing, she's going back to the top lane, because I think she should already be rotating to bot, and Ferocity should just force the 1-4 combo here.
Yeah, they get the tower down. They're going to look to catch a Kappa here. The Unbreakable Will coming in, and it doesn't look like the Alistair's in too much trouble. Actually going to get gobbled up by the Tam Kenshin. That could change things just a little bit. Kappa still got the damage reduction not coming in anymore. And Box now on a killing spree actually on the Tam Kenshin. Zodiac are finding a couple of picks right now. So far on 7 kills, despite the fact that Ferocity have been in complete control. So it's not like they're being completely starved in this game.
It's Ferocity for sure has been in control. The problem is it doesn't seem like they are on the same page when in terms of map movement, because the Fiora once again was on the top lane, cleared 2 waves away, but then started recalling instead of starting to teleport the moment Tahm Kench actually ate the Alistar, because Alistar was still alive for a good 6 seconds after he got devoured.
Ooh, Stark managed to catch Pre in the middle of that ult, and we'll be able to lock him up. We'll be waiting for a few more spells, but that light binding will mean he can't get any more. But Stark will be waiting on just a little bit more damage when he comes really threatening to this Lux, and we've seen him completely on top so far in the mid lane, and Pre really far behind is struggling to have as much of an impact as this LeBlanc.
So Fiora once again on the top lane. Shyvana and Tahm Kench now have the right idea. With the exhaust available, I think they should be able to duel the Fiora, but Wox really needs to do a good bait here.
Yeah, we see the Flame Horizon reached by Zizzle in that top lane right now. Briefly reached over 100 CS over Vox's Tahm Kench. The Kench managing to get a little bit back with the wave, but definitely hovering around an 100 CS lead. Top of the 5 kills. Oh, they caught out Stark, and that light binding coming in means he's in a lot of trouble. The double distortion means he's fine. With his exhaust coming in, he's going to go back actually. He's got a little bit of space. Zodiac will collapse, but he's managed to delay them just a little bit. Gets over the wall, and Stark, is he running to safety? He has the Fiora nearby who could be looking to fight this out. However, there are pretty beefy champions, and that's going to be the shutdown coming in. 5th kill coming in for Vox's Tahm Kench.
And this is so huge once again, because you get Stark out of the picture when Corki has the package already picked up. The dragon is going to spawn in 10 seconds. Sure, if there's going to be some sort of fight, the package might still be relevant, but I don't think Ferocity is looking to fight this without their frontline, basically, their biggest damage source.
Yeah, we'll see them not start the dragon just yet. They're seeing what they can do in terms of vision and maybe look for a pick, but Zodiac definitely playing this a lot more safely, not wanting to get caught out by the Elise Cocoon, because there'd be a fair bit of follow-up damage. Have to keep an eye on the top lane once again. Zizzle will be free to split push that in just a little bit, as Zodiac have all 5 members near that dragon. However, that's going to be the Abyssal Boys. They're going to look to see who they can get. The Tahm Kench, though, not near anyone, and they managed to force them off the dragon, so they could look to turn on that. But look at where the Fiora is. That inhib tower is down, so she should be free to just get on that inhibitor for the dragon here on the side of Zodiac. I'm not sure if that's what they want. We're actually going to see Dosh get sated off at that, but I think Zizzle will be pretty happy to go for the inhibitor. And right now, Ferocity looking to stop as much recalls as they can, forces the Flashman Box over the wall. Ferocity just looking to push forward as the inhibitor goes down, and Zizzle is probably going to back off after that one, happy taking the inhibitor, and Ferocity definitely coming out on top in that trade.
Yeah, if this game continues the way it does, Dosh might be in trouble.
Zizzle finds Dosh over the wall, and Dosh actually has a bit of support here from the Oracle. We'll see what Zizzle can do. The Grand Challenge coming down, and not Shyvana solo hops over the wall, but brings the Fiora with her. And now Zizzle going to chase down, try and get the final blow onto Dosh. Will fall. That's going to be Pre going down as well. And Zodiac losing so many members already. The Oracle could be next, as he's already really low. Stark on the jump in, but the Kench will gobble up. However, the AD carry goes down. Zizzle gets another in this fight. Box the only one left alive at Ferocity with 4 kills. Should be able to push this so much further.
Ferocity finally managed to do what their comp was built to. They managed to build up enough momentum onto the Fiora that she is in a position where she duels anyone, even with Janna being nearby, and now it's just Zodiac members falling left and right. I was just about to praise them after they managed to secure this dragon, because honestly, the game is not going to be going for 5 Drakes anyways. Ferocity is not looking for that, but they managed to react. They were well aware that Fiora is going to get that inhibitor anyways, and they were forced to go in for the Drake. They even used the Abyssal Voyage to try and initiate the fight. The problem is, you get the Drake and you need to be grouped up against this Ferocity composition. The moment someone gets caught out, this is what happens. And this is 2 turrets and an entire inhibitor falling just because Shyvana got caught.
Yeah, and before that dragon even went down, I think Ferocity were sitting on something like a 7k goal lead. That is just completely shot up, and now, right now, about 10.5, 11k gold over their opponents, and this is looking almost unsalvageable for Zodiac. They're so far behind. They're still waiting for that Tristan to get really big. And even if they do, the Fiora is just so massive and is always going to be so far ahead. It's going to be so little that Zodiac can do. And Ferocity, happy to take this Baron for free. Zodiac maybe looking to mount a bit of a challenge as Vox and Dosh make their way up. We'll see what the Shyvana and Tahm Kench can do. They're going to turn on to XJ, who was already pretty low from tanking the Baron. They could get the Elise. However, K-pop is just going to fall on the other side of the map, and Stark happy to get another pick. Dosh trying to get on someone, but the Dragon's Descent is flat. Vox is there, but now Ferocity have a few members, and they just pick up the Shyvana. Vox completely on his own right now. We'll see what the Kench could do. Gonna pick up Asarat, but at what cost? He's completely left alone, and the Fiora still lane manages to get the Lux in the bottom lane. The Oracle is the only one left to defend this, and I don't think as a Janna there's so much you can do against the Fiora. The Monsoon will delay the inevitable just a little bit, but Zizzle gonna hunt down this kill. Oracle doing a very good job of staying alive here, but the rest of Ferocity just pushing in the mid lane as we see the Fiora chase so desperately for the kill. He is going to get it eventually, and with that, it looks as if with the 2 Nexus towers falling down, Ferocity Red will be the team to go 3-1 in Division 1 of the G7 qualifiers.
In this last minute of the game, it was actually Zodiac, I think, who made 2 bad calls. So if the Shyvana gets caught out, there's really not much you can do to save her. So realistically, I think even Janna should have just backed away and tried to sacrifice the Shyvana and just fall behind your turret and try to save as much as possible, because without the enemy team having Baron Nashor, you have a Lux, you have a Tristana, you should still have enough wave clear to try and defend the mid inhibitor. And then the other, probably the bigger mistake, is that Zodiac had to try to steal this Baron Nashor. The problem is how they divided their forces just allowed the Fiora once again to do whatever she wanted, because she can dash around so easily. Pri was dead, even with a Janna standing right next to her under the inhibitor turret. This Fiora was so ahead, it's really not the Lux. It's once again the Tahm Kench you need to send. He is the only tanky enough member who can withstand the onslaught of Fiora for long enough under a turret. And then Shyvana with the Janna and the Lux. Those are the skills, the Lux ultimate, that you really want to be around Baron Nashor to try a potential steal. That didn't happen. Fiora is just massively ahead, and with a clean ace, it's actually Ferocity who cleans up the game. But it's honestly a well-deserved victory, even though Zodiac stood their ground firmly for quite a while.
Yeah, Ferocity with a great start and a great finish. Zodiac did what they could in the mid game, but in the end, a few risky calls meant that Ferocity were able to close it out pretty convincingly. But from us, that is going to be it for this evening. Glad to bring you this game. Thanks for tuning in, and good evening.
Thank you so very much for having me as well, and good evening.